What gets you up in the morning? What makes you take out the trash? What makes you start the paper and finish the paper you need to write? What gets you through the day? Or the month, or tax season? Or the busy season at whatever job you're at? When we think about how we put forth effort, we think about two main things. One is volition and one is motivation. Volition is really occurring in the absence of motivation, when I don't feel like it, when there's no reward or obvious reward, when I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling pleasure about it, feeling excited about it, and there's no external reward or pressure. Then that's when volition comes in, and we take what's called agency, personal control of the situation, and say, I'm going to do this. And we don't know how it's going to pay off, but we decide to ascribe meaning to it, to attribute value to it, and even when we may not feel it. And that's more volitional effort. The other type of effort is usually in the presence of motivated behavior. So we're motivated, whether it be by some reward in our atmosphere, in our job, in our relationship. That would be an extrinsic reward, or an extrinsic punishment that we're wanting to avoid, or something intrinsic, like I want to read a book because I enjoy it. A lot of you are intrinsically motivated to watch Netflix. I know I am. And so that's when we get the joy out of it. We enjoy doing it. No one's telling us to. There may be no reward besides I just enjoy doing this. And there's going to be a balance in our lives of those two things, of the things of motivated behavior that we do because of intrinsic values, and other things that are just truly, they have to come through extrinsic values. Do I enjoy driving slow? Nope. But I enjoy not getting speeding tickets, so I think I'll slow down, right? Sometimes it's too much of our life, and the way our systems are built, including the education system to some degree, is if we're going to do grades, then we're automatically taking the books that you would read and making it a book report, and we're grading what you're doing rather than facilitating intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is a lot more fun, a lot more exciting, but extrinsic motivation has its place, because there's so many things in life that we would never do if it were all up to intrinsic motivation. As I talk about motivation, I want to give you one of the primary I want to give you a primary theoretical framework to work from. It's a concept called self-efficacy, and it was developed by Albert Bandura. So Bandura talked about self-efficacy as being sort of a confidence in a specific future task. So rather than it being a general confidence, as in, hey, that person's really confident in the way they conduct themselves and just most of what they do. Self-efficacy is more of an academic and scholarly view of what's going on, and sort of gives us an ability to measure a person's confidence in whatever tasks they're trying to accomplish. Now you may think, I don't need to measure my motivation, but as researchers, we do want to measure motivation and how it affects performance, and we have. Self-efficacy is a big thing. Bandura said that it's really compiled from 4 different indicators, we'll call them. The first is you feel more self-efficacious if you've had a mastery experience with the task ahead of you. So if I ask you to run a mile in 8 minutes, if you've done it before, you've had a mastery or personal successful experience. And so you're likely to feel efficacious or confident that you could do it again. That's a mastery experience. Now, what if and this is the second indicator, and the second variable that increases our self-efficacy is when we have a comparable person to us that has succeeded at whatever task it is. So you look at me and say, hey, have you run a mile in 8 minutes? And I can say, well, not recently, and if I had, though, you could say what Bandura called a vicarious experience. You could look at me and say, well, if he can do it, surely I can. And so by seeing other people that are similar to us succeed in a task, then we feel more motivated and self-efficacious in performing that same task.